Good morning. I hope you're doing well today. Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be talking about how to overcome comparison with journaling. This is a super fun topic. If any of you know me well, you will know that journaling has been a really big part of my own journey, and it's something that I like to share with those around me. So, a couple things before we get started this morning. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, I would encourage you to head on over to YouTube when this video is done. Hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications for each time that I come live, which is Monday to Friday around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. On my YouTube channel, you will find all things to do with my self-love at any size method. One of those things including journaling, but there are all different topics on there for you to learn more and grow more in your self-love journeys. And then if you guys are not already in my community, I have a community called Imperfectly Perfect You, which is my space where we talk about all things self-love at any size and just really empowering and inspiring each other to really rise up and become the best versions of ourselves, step into our power, into our confidence, and really just be living a life of purpose once we start to realize that we can accept and respect our bodies at whatever size we are. So let's get into it, you guys. I'm going to bring up my video here quickly so I can see who's coming on. Alrighty. So journaling is super fun. It's I always call it my free form of therapy. It really has helped me in so many different areas of my life. And so what I wanted to talk to you guys today about is how to start to overcome comparison if you battle with that, which I know I have and I still do. So I wanted to just give you some easy ways you can start to journal out your thoughts in order to help yourself feel a little bit less comparison. So we really should be comparing our current self to our past self is what we really should be doing. Someone says, hey, Facebook user. Hey, Facebook user. If you're in my private group, I can't see your name is usually what happens. But anyway, hello. I'm glad you're here. So that's the thing we have to keep thinking or have to keep reminding ourselves of when it comes to journaling or it comes to comparing ourselves is that we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to others because that's impossible. We are never going to be like someone else. Oh, it's Danelle. Hello, Danelle. One of my favorite people. And so, so when we're talking about comparison, it's really easy to compare ourselves to others because we look at other people's lives, especially on social media, and we constantly try and be, we compare ourselves to them. We'd be like, oh, she's so much more successful than me, and oh, she's so much prettier than I am, and it brings you down, right? It brings you down. So what we want to try and do is to switch the narrative and start comparing our current self to our past self. Because if you look back on your life, you will realize that you have become such a better person than you were previously. Usually is the case. And you've overcome so many things and you have done so many things with your life and you have grown in, either setting boundaries or your confidence or your, what you have in your life, who you have in your life. Like there are so many things that we can, really look at of like comparing our current self to our past self, and we can really recognize the growth in that. So a quote that I found this morning that really stood out to me is that a flower does not compare itself to other flowers, it just blooms. And this made me think of my friend Jenna because all her kind of branding is all about blooming and flowers. So I really thought of her with this, but I really think it really paints a beautiful picture on what we need to be doing. Is really comparing, a flower does not compare itself to others, it just blooms. So that's what we need to think about for ourselves, is we don't need to be looking at what other people are doing and thinking that we're not doing enough. We need to just do what we want to do and don't compare ourselves to others and just bloom anyway, and bloom regardless of what everyone else is doing around you. So really this just reminds ourselves to focus on bettering ourselves rather than dwelling on how we stack up against other people, right? And I am no stranger to feelings of like jealousy and comparison and despair when I start to compare myself to other people that I think that, you get that kind of like thing in your mind of like, they're more talented than me, or they seem happier than me, or they're better at talking than I am. Like there's just so many things that we can start to pick apart, right? But what I wanted to share with you guys is that journaling is such a great way to process certain emotions. And really any emotion. Journaling is such an awesome way to start to go through those thoughts and write them down and start to really, you can come to grasp with some of those thoughts, or you can find that they're irrational, and that really writing them down is kind of like really like solidifying that this really isn't something I should be worrying about. So I wanted to share with you guys 3 quick ways that we can start to transform that comparison that is dragging us down into something that we can work through and overcome, and really start just comparing our current self to our past self and learning to grow with ourselves and just, be in competition with yourself, not those around you, right? So the first thing that I want you guys to do is you can write these down for later, or you can pause this video and you could do it at the same time if you're watching on the replay. But the first thing is to write down how far you have come. So look back on your life and appreciate all the little steps that you have made to become the best you. So just taking a moment to write those things down, writing down about, your journey and what things you have overcome and what hardships you have faced, and, coming back to a sense of really appreciating how far you have come. Like, doesn't matter who you are. I feel like you probably have overcome something in your life and have come out on the other side, either having a lesson or, overcoming it with such pride and confidence, or setting boundaries. Like there's so many little things that we can appreciate about how we have become better people. And then my next tip for you guys is to start and end your day with gratitude journaling. So gratitude journaling is a big part of my journaling practice. And what you can simply do is just start and end your day with writing down 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for. Depending on your focus, there is a million different things you can focus on. You could focus on your family, on your kids, on your job, on your career, on your personal development, of your body, being grateful for your body and what it does for you. Like there is literally endless things to be grateful for in this life. And when you just start to live from a place of gratitude, it's really going to help you to be in the present moment. It's going to help you to focus on the things that are good in your life. And it's going to help you to really start to see that the beauty and in this life, the beauty in everything that we're doing and everything, all the people we're coming into contact with, all those things, right? Gratitude journaling is such an awesome way to connect back to the present moment and just be with the now, right? So many of us are either caught up in living in the past or the future. We need to start bringing ourselves into the now and just focusing on that as much as we can. And a really great way to do that is through gratitude journaling. So if that's a really quick and easy and simple thing that you can start to do, you could write it in your phone. If you don't have a pen, I would encourage you to write it in a journal, because there is the therapeutic benefit of actually writing things down rather than typing them. It accesses different parts of your brain, which is a whole other thing. But really just start doing that. Like start doing even 3 things each morning and night that you can be grateful for, and just start to notice the shift within yourself. And then the third tip I have for you guys is to do a mind clear exercise. This one is super fun, and it can just get rid of a whole bunch of negative thoughts that are stuck in your brain, and it's going to really help you to let go of things that are no longer serving you. So this one is once again very simple. You write down free writing for 5 minutes. So you set a timer on your phone. If you want to, if you just want to free write and you don't need to set a time limit, and just writing down literally every thought that comes into your mind and just writing it down. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to flow. It doesn't have to be about one thing. when I've done this before, it's really random thoughts that go from like one extreme to another. And it's just getting it out on paper helps me to just kind of like dump all those things out of my mind. And, you know, especially if you're dealing with comparison, writing those things down once again will maybe make you see that the things that you're worrying about or comparing yourself to really doesn't serve you, right? And so doing those mind clear exercises of just really getting those thoughts out of your head is really going to help you to be living from a place of, once again, in the present moment, you know, getting rid of that gunk that we don't need and just being able to then move forward with whatever you're trying to do in your life with kind of grace and ease, which is a beautiful thing to think about, right? So those are my 3 little ways that you guys can start to kind of overcome the comparison that we tend to all do. So I hope that was helpful for you guys, and just really come back to that quote that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, is that a flower does not compare itself to other flowers, it just blooms. And so I want you to bloom, and I want you to be able to realize that comparing yourself to others is not a healthy behavior, and it's not something that's going to serve you well. So the sooner we can start to take those active steps towards steps away from comparison, the better off we're going to be. So that's all I wanted to chat to you guys about today. Before I pop out of here, there's one thing I wanted to mention that is time sensitive, is if that you guys, I'm doing a book collaboration called Imperfectly Perfect. It is going to be comprised of 22 inspirational stories of self-love and self-discovery. So if you have a story you want to tell or a story you want to share, this is going to be such an awesome project to just, you know, collaborate with other like-minded women and share each other's stories and go through this process together on really just shining your light and owning your truth and sharing your story. I see. This is maybe Danelle again. I don't know. She says, "This is awesome. Great tips. Can really see the benefit of doing this." Yay. I'm so glad. Yeah, so back to the book collaboration. You only have until January 31st to secure your spot. I have 2 different payment options available because I don't want money to hold someone back from being a part of this project. It's going to be super fun and inspirational and such a great way to become a published author without actually having to do much other than say yes and have guidance with writing your story, creating your story you want to share with the world, and inspiring others with your story, because we all have a story. We all have something to contribute to this world in a way that can inspire and uplift and help someone else rise up and shine bright. So if you want to be a part of this book collaboration, please either leave me a comment in this video that you're watching, or you can follow the link that's in the description of the video, and that will take you to the page to help you to learn more. We're going to be having like author coaching in there to help you define your story and outline how you want it to be. You're going to get marketing materials, promotional materials, interviews within all my social media networks, and you're going to get copies of your book as well. So super fun. I'm so excited about this. It's going to be a great project, and it makes my creative heart happy. So I'm excited to go on that journey with whoever decides to join me. So there's that, and then that's all I had for you guys today. I hope these little tips were helpful. It was something nice and quick. Trying to get rid of this here. There we go. So I hope you guys have the best day, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care. Thanks for everyone who tuned in.